Welcome to the January 13th meeting of the East Long Meadow Broadband Committee. I'm Don Mackey, the chairman. Present are Connor O'Shea and Donald Anderson. We do have a quorum of the committee for this meeting. It will be a short meeting. We'll start with minutes. We accept the minutes of December 2nd. Connor submitted those. I took a look at them yesterday and this morning. Don, do you have a chance to look at them?
Just a cursory look just through, not totally, but I'm fine. Connor, I know, familiar with Connor's work.
Connor does an impeccable job with the minutes.
He top shelf.
So I will accept a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for the December 2nd meeting.
December 2nd, yep.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye. We don't have to roll call, right?
Don Anderson?
Yes. Aye.
Connor O'Shea?
Yes.
Don Mackey, yes. All right. Correspondence? I don't know that we have any.
I mean, I had one little follow-up thing from our last meeting.
Okay.
I had kind of thrown out like that hypothetical question when Don asked about like the data caps there with Xfinity in Massachusetts, and I had wondered like how far off the data cap was from how much you could actually consume based on like your data plan speed for the month. And kind of doing out the math, that's actually like a 96% reduction in what people could use theoretically. For like, if you assumed that like a customer had 100 megabit download service, and then given their new data cap, I forget what the actual number is, I think it's 1.2 terabytes. It winds up being, you used to be able to use like up to 31 terabytes a month, but now you can only do like 1.2. So it's about like a 96.
Well, it's significant.
That is huge.
I mean, more than significant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was speaking of, as Connor said. I don't know if we can get that in the contract, that during the terms of the contract they can't do it, or do we just have to?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with internet. It's just a product.
I was
Yeah.
open.
So.
Yeah, great research, Connor.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for that. And I guess, I don't know, we could maybe add that to our information on the website.
I think he's got a column to demonstrate that level of funding, and then whatever the additional requests had to be.
But yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Anytime. Thank you.
So the next item on the agenda is updates regarding data collection. Any further sort of research or anything that people have done?
No, I spent most of my time between the last meeting and this one just looking over the cable license.
Okay. So let's, any other, Don, you didn't, I know Brian was going to do the, try to connect with Wilbraham about where they are in the process. But I think short of that, we're maybe up to date on data collection and information. I don't know if you saw, I did send a link to the video. We looked at that PowerPoint that I started to put together last time. And so I put that yesterday into an actual video format, did a voiceover. So it's basically just going through the slides. But so that it runs, it's 11 minutes long. So that was sort of the project that I was working on in terms of TV options. And I guess if I was sort of hoping I'd get the go ahead, I would post that if everybody had a chance to look at it. If you've not, then
Just saw it today. After tonight, I'll make sure I watch it tonight. Yeah.
So I don't know if we need a vote of the committee for me to be able to post it, or just I'll just plan on posting it unless I hear.
If you need a motion, I mean, I can make the motion, and then if I see something that changes my opinion, I will reach out to you guys immediately. And say,
Okay.
whoa, there's a typo, there's a this or whatever. But barring that, in the interest of time, if that's necessary to authorize it getting posted on our
I don't think it's urgent.
All right, well, you have my support either
We'll
way.
wait till the next meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched it and I thought it was good. It was basically just the voiceover video version of
Of the
what
PowerPoint.
we went through last time, which looked good to me. So good work on putting all that together.
Thanks. Mary, did you have a comment? You look like you were
I
about.
was just going to apologize because I haven't seen it yet, Don. I expected to do it today, and believe it or not, something else got in the way.
Somebody took up about 2 hours of your time this morning.
So, but I'm with Don. I'm sure that it's fine, and if Connor's watched it and he's happy, I have no objection to.
All right.
But I'm ex officio anyway, so I don't really vote on these things.
No, but you're the boss, so I just.
Yeah. Can you tell us? Can you tell a few other people that? Kidding.
All right.
Just
So
kidding.
let's just move
Oh,
on to the.
One thing I forgot about too.
Sorry.
We had a couple master plan committee meetings, and one thing that I did mention as part of like the data collection that I thought would be good for the town to know is like what the actual like broadband distribution is in town, like how many people are subscribed to different things and what service they might use. So we'll see if they can come back with some of that information for us.
Did you? So there is a link in that sort of bunch of links that I think I posted it on the LCAT page on the town website, and I think it's in there's a folder in this. Man, I feel like I'm in such a rush because I don't want to hold everybody up for that, I think, but there is a site that aggregates a lot of that data in terms of subscribers and what they subscribe to, and that might be a place to start. I'll try to get to it the next day or so, and I'll just email you or text you about that, because I think that may be a chunk of what the kind of thing you're looking for. It's very helpful information.
Yeah, so cool.
All right, so with respect to the cable license, so Don, since Mary just jumped on. So the way that document was sent to us was sent to us initially from when we met. I think it was September or October, Mary, I don't even remember. And it was sent without comments. It was just a blank standard template that they use for all of their stations in Massachusetts. Since that time, somebody from Charter has gone in and made notations or revisions to that document, and those show up as pink changes and corrections. And in the right-hand column, in the comment boxes are listed as author. So that's whoever from Charter created that document. I made just a couple of notations, and I added all of section 13. Initially, I added it as a comment. I believe, because I didn't do it, I believe that the author then incorporated that change into the body of the document, because the draft template that they sent out leaves part 13, section 13, which has to do with PEG access. They leave that blank because that's negotiated town by town. So if there are spelling errors and whatnot in there, those are mine. But I guess, the main thing is, if anybody feels that there's something either really problematic or unclear or whatever, I would like to somehow or other get it cleaned up, and communicate with Charter and say, what's the next step in the process? Is that?
Well, can I ask a question, Don?
Of course.
Let me make sure I understand, because the copy that I was reviewing does have section 13 in it, with 5 subsections. And is that what you inserted, or, because this was from John Maher in September, this document that I'm looking at?
And is that the one?
It doesn't, it's not a tracked, at least it doesn't show the tracking for any changes.
All right, are you reading it? So are you reading a printed version?
Yes,
Okay. So I'm looking at the renewal template, the Word version in the folder, in the broadband committee folder.
okay, but I think this document was uploaded to that drive, but maybe
I
I'm wrong.
believe it was, and I think, and I appreciate you asking the question because I'm really not clear, because some of these changes that I'm describing in this online version of the document, I don't remember them being there. So I think there may be changes to the online sort of live version of it that are not then going to be on the version that you printed out.
Well, in my printed copy here, section 13.3 says public, educational, and governmental access support. And then there's a bracketed comment that just says to be discussed with town.
Okay, so it's the 13.3. I
Okay,
apologize.
okay, then I'm sorry.
No, I'm really glad you
Just that section
clarified.
you're referring to.
because I have it open, but I've got like 9 windows open and I can't find it.
Okay,
So yes, it's the part that has to do with PEG access where there was no information supplied.
gotcha. Okay, then we have the same document.
Okay, then I made a comment at that point on the online version, and I basically copied and pasted from the current contract the language for 13.3 that specifies the percentage that we will get from Charter and the structure of the payments and all of that. Everything that is currently how we operate. I basically just took that and pasted it, but I put it in the comment. I didn't try to insert it into the actual document.
And is it in the document that's in the drive?
I believe it is. And so let me go check. Here I got it. Section 13. No.
No?
13, so it's 13.3 is the one that's
Yes.
missing?
Yes.
Yeah, but my comment isn't even there.
Yeah, so what's weird is I looked at
Yep,
the
yep.
20.
No, it is in the document. So right now, as I'm looking at it on page 12 of the online Word document, copy of mass template renewal license. 13.3, public educational government access support. The licensee shall provide a one-time cash payment to the town of $100,000 for PEG equipment. That's what we talked about this morning, Mary.
Right.
And then for the term of, and that is actually in the document.
Okay.
So I think somebody from Charter accepted that basically, and he moved it from a comment into the document. But I don't know that.
What looked different to me though between like the last approved one in 2016 versus this draft one here was in 13.4. Instead of recovery of costs, it used to have something about like 3.5% like payment to our fund or something, and I don't know where that is now.
Well, that's why, so I will have to, I will tell you, I know I've sort of asked all of you to go through this, and then I clearly haven't really done it. So the only thing that that would have been specific, that I would have changed, or that is specific to East Long Meadow would be 13.3, section A, section B. Yeah, and see, there's a question mark there. So if you look at 13.3,
Oh, okay, so maybe they moved it into B.
so I think he moved it, but he didn't put in the percentage.
Gotcha.
Because that percentage, I know, was in my comment. So that's fine. Although the date doesn't jive because.
Would it make sense to just ask them for an updated,
It would. I guess the only point of any of this is, aside from the issue of PEG support, which we have the language and we have the terms, and I don't really think that's going to change. It hasn't changed in years.
yeah,
Does the rest of the license look agreeable, acceptable? And are we getting close to a position to go ahead and sort of move forward? I mean, I just want to know that we're going to sign the license.
yeah. Well, as you pointed out before, we don't have a lot of bargaining power with respect to their document, I don't think. I mean, we can tweak changes and suggest draftsmanship that might differ, but I don't think substantively there's a heck of a lot of room to negotiate things. But I don't know that. I'll defer to you, but I think that's the impression I got from you over the years, that they haven't changed the licensure language in 10 or 20 years.
Right. I mean, some of the things change on their end in terms of the technical things. I'm sure there are changes, but in terms of any impact that it has, I think the hatch should be unlocked. So you just grab the stuff out. Everything's there. So that's all. I mean, it's not like anything we have to decide today. It just, we're into the new year and it expires in May, and I want to stay on.
But there's a public hearing requirement too, though, right? On
Yes,
this,
there is.
so
Correct.
we do have to back up on the calendar a little to make sure that we have sufficient time to schedule those things with the notice and whatnot that goes along with it. So
Don, you look puzzled. And
Yeah, I do. Just a couple things here. I'm gonna actually, you can still see me, but I'm gonna be going off the screen just right now. Alrighty. Okay, so I'm just trying to grasp it. We have section 13, so it goes from 13.1, 13.2, 13.3. Then we go to new sections 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, and then we go into what I believe should be 13.4 and then 13.5. So I'm just trying to put it together. Mary alluded to draftsman, and I think there might be some tweaking that needs to be done there because it doesn't quite flow. And again, there's some spelling errors, but that can be fixed. I mean, what do you guys show on 13.4? Do you have it like 15 something, 13.4?
No, I go from,
is very brief, recovery of costs, and it's 4 lines.
Right, and it says 13.4 on it.
yes,
Yeah.
Okay, and does it look totally indented a little bit?
yes.
Yeah, mine does.
Okay, that's my edit. I just did that. So before the edit before it, it just doesn't show the side comment. It had it as 15 something 13.4, and just before we went live, I took care of a couple spelling errors. There's a couple more, but I just don't understand this 1.2, 1.3, 1.4 sections in the middle between 13.3 and 13.4.
I agree. That's,
Yeah, that doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah.
so I think, I would just have to communicate with John Mayer.
Well, rather than having all of us try to figure out
Yeah, absolutely.
which document,
But
if
this is why we need other eyes on it, because and I could have looked at this till the cows come home and not really even seen. I've looked at so many of these over the years, I wouldn't even notice that there was something wrong. So that's why I need you guys to look at it and say, what's this?
Also, the $10,000 bond, is that a bond from years past, or do they have to renew the bond, or is it a cash bond, or is it some type of surety?
It's a surety bond.
Is it still in place?
I believe so, yeah. I think
Okay.
I remember a little bit of the discussion about that the last time around. And
And the 10,000 is still appropriate?
yeah, I think so. I'll have to go back and look at our conversation from the last time.
Okay.
And again, the other thing is, this template that they use is their template. This is not necessarily the wording in the existing license with East Long Meadow.
Ah.
Okay. Like they didn't take the existing license and send it. They took their template, and that's another thing where we should probably look at the changes. I have that document is also in the folder for
Yeah, I
comparison.
did look at the last one because I think specifically with that performance bond, the template has 10,000, but our last one from 2016 said 20,000.
20. Yeah, I remember that's when I remember there was discussion about it, and I think that they agreed to the 20. I mean, that's peanuts for them.
It doesn't seem like a very large amount if it's a performance bond. If they walk away, Don, maybe you can amplify my understanding here, but I thought the purpose of the bond would be to find a successor to complete the contract term in the event of non-performance by charter.
I think that's true, except that if they walk away, I think the first provision is that they, within a certain period of time, I mean, if they really walk away, then we take the entire cable system by abandonment, and another operator then comes in, and it basically, then the town owns that cable system. So, I mean, I think in terms of,
Right, but we still can't, we don't have the capacity to operate it necessarily without,
true. No, that's true. But another operator, we wouldn't have to pay an operator to come in and take over operating that system, because that would be an opportunity for that. Maybe, and I don't know. It's a fair question. I don't,
well,
I'm talking out of turn. So that, again, that's something that we need to look at.
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing that I saw in the document so far was just the change of not saying Board of Selectmen anymore to probably being town manager, but otherwise, my only other question was the term length. I saw you had commented like to go from 10 to 5. Was that something that we actually wanted to do?
I think we talked about that, didn't we? Going to 5?
I'm
We may
fine.
have, and I don't remember. Sorry.
I'm fine with 10 to 5. And we may have, and I don't have an objection to it.
I think
Gives us gives us more control as things change. I mean, do we even know if 5G is available in our area yet?
yeah, good question. I don't know the answer to that.
it's true 5G, no. They are marketing it in the area.
Yeah, tomorrow at 10 in the morning is the new reveal of the next Galaxy S21 or whatever they're going to call it, and it's so everything's going 5G. So I'm sure the technology will catch up. Just hopefully they don't forget us all in Western Mass.
Right. Yeah, I think our thinking was when we met that 5 years, just it allows for, I mean, the thing about the 10-year license is, let's say cable TV, which is going away at some rate of speed, goes away in year 6, right? Well, then you're still 4 years with a license with a cable provider who's not really, it just seems like in this scenario, you'd want to have the flexibility to go in a different direction if technology takes you there in 5 years rather than have to wait 10. I mean,
we can always do 5 if they insist on 10 years. We can do 5 years with.
on 10.
Okay, but if they did, we can always do an opt-out, or we can do 5 years with a municipality-owned exclusive option to extend on the terms for another 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's pretty much standard what they've operated, but they're okay with 5 years.
Yeah, and I think either of those work for me. I just didn't remember why we said that. That's all. Cool.
So Connor, I don't know, have you managed to take notes on the points that, like Mary's concern about the performance bond and?
Yeah, when I watch the video again later tonight, I'll type them all.
Video, huh?
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right, that's awesome. That's great. Um,
The lifespan of this committee was going to be a year, I thought, from its date of inception or recommendation about, I mean, are you finished with the charter license
I
renewal?
think so. If everybody's said what they have to say, and again, I'm just would like to see us feel confident that we can schedule that hearing and be able to address questions to the
Yeah.
if they come up in that hearing and be ready to sign a license. That's all.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I'm afraid that my own, I'm about to be smothered in budget talk for the next, 4 or 5 months. So
Absolutely.
if we can kind of expedite the charter license renewal aspect of this, then I think the rest of the committee's work can take its time through June or whenever we began this to make the ultimate recommendation about broadband throughout the community. But I guess I'm making my excuses in advance. I apologize for doing that.
No excuses.
No, I mean, I think it's just of necessity.
Sure. And I'd be entirely in favor of that. I think
Yeah,
that
that makes sense to
I mean,
me.
the loose ends I see are basically that, the $10,000 bond to make sure that if we've done 20 in the past, that we keep it consistent, if not higher. And the draftsmanship in 13 with those big subsections. I mean, the sections coming in the middle that don't seem to flow.
Right, that has to be fixed.
Yeah, that and some spelling errors. I think that can be easily fixed too. And then once we have a chance to clean it up, then let's get it to a public hearing so that they see the cleaned up version.
Okay.
Now, Don, let me just make sure that the references that you're making to after section 13.3, where the numbering gets messed up, is that
Right.
is that on the copy that you're reading from the drive?
I'm actually on the drive right now.
Okay.
So apparently it picked up some of my changes already. It just wouldn't let me reformat it. But anyhow, yeah, if you go to 13.1, 13,
Yeah,
3, and then it goes 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, then reels back to 13.4, 13.5, those things.
Okay. I was using my copy that I downloaded from the email, so I didn't mean to further confuse matters by referencing a document that was not the same one you guys were looking at.
right. No, that's fine. But yes, Mary, that the one that we're looking at online has that.
All right, but I think Don's right. If that's the case, then maybe we just need to clean up that section in particular. I don't really have an issue with the performance bond. I wonder if the 10 that's referenced here is sufficient. We
Well,
haven't needed to call on it yet, so.
Right now, like the current license is 20, so I think it should at least be 20.
Yeah,
We should at least conform to the existing license. The other thing I guess I would ask is, my thought would be not to, the reason I put my changes in the comments, and I guess it doesn't really matter because we can just, it's like we're not actually changing the document. So we can format this to our liking and send it back as the changes that we want to see. Or maybe an intermediary communication with John Mayer and just say, you want to take a look at this, and have them reformat it with our information.
I think they should.
I think it's better for them to reformat it than to have us do the reformatting,
yeah,
as long as we give them the information that we like, sort of like the E-code thing. We give them what we want them to put in, but have them put it in.
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay.
I agree.
All right. All right.
Okay.
Where are we on the agenda here? Any other business? I think that's it, right?
Yep.
Next meeting, I don't know, we can say February 6th for February, what?
3rd, I think that would be the first Wednesday.
You want to do the first or the second? I mean, do we really have anything to do in the next 3 weeks?
Nah,
No.
Yeah, I think let's push it out.
We'll schedule as necessary. If you feel there's a need, we're easy to get a hold
Yeah,
of.
we can
and-
leave
and
it
we
open,
can
I think.
Keep it open, and
all right.
if you say, hey, you want to have a quick meeting to go over this final draft of the thing, I could be available.
Yeah,
You know,
let's see how much
relatively
progress I
short
make
notice.
with that, and then
Yeah.
we'll schedule accordingly. Okay.
Sure.
That sounds good.
Bruce, welcome, sir.
Pardon my delay. Funny thing called work got in the way.
Nope,
I'll watch the
fine.
video.
And
Bruce, happy to have you.
we're bailing out because we're going to head over the ice rink. So
Fantastic.
thank you
We're
anyway.
also going to rename it the wading pool.
Oh, melted, huh?
Well, there's only an inch of ice, I think, and it's going to be in the 40s for the next 3 days, plus a rainstorm on the weekend. So everybody's kind of droopy about the prospects of getting much ice time, but we're going to hope and pray that we get a little cold spell. But
Keep
it's a
the geese
beautiful.
off of it.
Been by it yet, Don? Have you driven by it?
Me?
Any of you? Have you seen it?
I saw the original location over there. I haven't seen the new location.
The second one is better.
I'm looking forward. I'll be on my way over there in a few minutes.
Great.
No skating on a hill.
Look forward to seeing all of you if you can make it.
Where did they wind up putting it?
Well, it's in the center field area, but it's on the border of Shaker Road. So from the road, you can see it. And
Oh, okay.
it's not in the outfield. It's sort of adjacent. It's like beyond left field.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be nice if it gets some ice in there.
All right. Well, if that is it, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I
So
move
moved.
to adjourn. Yeah.
So seconded.
Made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor? Conor O'Shea,
Yes.
Don Anderson,
Yes.
Bruce Adams,
Yes.
Don Mackey. Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mary. See you shortly.
Thank you all. Have a good afternoon.
Take care.